Hello students. Today we start our new chapter and name of this chapter is superposition of waves. Okay. Now in this chapter all of you are well familiar with this term and this term is a wave. Right. Now today we discuss this term wave. Okay. Now in 11th class we study how these waves are produced and what are the different types of waves. Now today we discuss in short what are waves. Okay. Now we know that for this we consider one example. Now a stone is taken and this stone is dropped on a calm and quiet surface of water. Right. Now we know that water consists of a large number of water molecules. Okay. Now, when some energy is given to these water particles or water molecules, at that time, these water molecules start vibration from its mean position in up and down motion. Now, this motion of these molecules is simple harmonic motion, right? Now, suppose in that case we consider, suppose the water molecule when some energy is given to that water molecule. Now this is the main position of that water molecule. Now due to action of this stone, now this molecule start vibrating in upward direction. It returns back to its mean position, again start vibrating in downward direction and again return back to this position. Now actually this particle is displaced from its mean position at two different extreme positions. This is the one extreme position and this is the another extreme position. Now this is the displacement of that particle from its mean position. Now this displacement of that particle from its mean position is nothing but it is the disturbance. It is the disturbance. Therefore, this disturbance produced by this by this particle from its mean position by using this energy. Now this disturbance produced is known as a wave. Therefore, this disturbance is produced in this way. Now this disturbance is the oscillatory disturbance. Therefore, how we define this wave? Now disturbance is called, in general, disturbance is called as a wave, right? Therefore, how we define this wave? Now we know that the oscillatory disturbance, this is the oscillatory disturbance. This oscillatory disturbance traveling through the medium without change of form, is known as a wave. Therefore, we define this. Oscillatory disturbance traveling through the medium without change of form is called as a wave. Therefore, when first particle start vibration and when it completes its vibration, now the first wave form is produced. Right? Now this energy is transferred to the neighboring particle and again this second particle start vibration and at that time due to vibration of second particle, second wave is produced. Again this energy is given to the third particle, again this third particle start vibration and again due to third particle, again next waveform is produced. In this way this energy is transferred from one particle to the other particle of that medium, right? Now when this energy is transferred, at that time this particle do not transfer. Particle of that medium does not transfer, right? Therefore, at that time this oscillatory disturbance traveling through the medium without change of form is called as a wave, right? Again remember that when wave is traveling through that medium, now only energy is transferred. But at that time, all these particles of medium does not transfer from one point to the other point, right? In this way, we consider what are waves, right? Now, today we discuss again different types of waves. Different types of waves. Types of waves. Now, we know that in nature, there are different types of waves are there. There are some waves which require a material medium for their propagation. Again, there are some waves which do not require a material medium for their propagation. Therefore, depending upon the requirement of a medium, now all these waves are classified into two types. Now, we consider first type of wave. Now it is known as mechanical waves. First type of wave is a mechanical wave, right? Now we consider sound wave. Sound wave. Now we know that some sound is produced by me and same sound is heard by you. Between you and me, there is one medium, and this medium is air medium. Now, when some sound is produced by me, same sound is heard by you, means the sound is travel in between you and me, and this travel due to the presence of air medium. Therefore, when sound waves are traveled, at that time for propagation of sound waves, a material medium is required. Now, such type of waves are known as mechanical waves. Therefore, how we define these mechanical waves? Waves which require a material medium. Waves which require a material medium for their propagation are called as mechanical waves. Therefore, in that case, we consider here for mechanical waves, it require a medium. It require a medium. Without medium, these mechanical waves cannot travel from one point to the other point, right? Now, there are different examples of mechanical waves. Now, we consider first example is a sound wave. For propagation of sound wave, we know that a medium is required. Without medium, sound waves cannot travel from one point to the other point. Second is water waves. Water waves. Now, when waves are formed on the surface of water, now at that time a medium is required. Therefore, water waves is also the example of mechanical waves. Okay. Now, come to the second type of wave. Now, second type of wave is known as non-mechanical waves. Non-mechanical waves. Now, these non-mechanical waves are also called as electromagnetic waves. These non-mechanical waves are also called as electromagnetic waves. Now, as it is electromagnetic waves or non-mechanical waves, now again there are some waves in nature which do not require a material medium for their propagation. Therefore, such waves are called as non-mechanical waves. Therefore, how we define waves which do not require a material medium for their propagation are called as non-mechanical waves. Therefore, we write here, these do not require a material medium. Therefore, such type of waves are called as non-mechanical waves or electromagnetic waves. Now, again we consider some examples. First example, light wave. Light waves. Now we know that light waves are produced by sun, and these light waves travels from sun to the earth surface. Between earth and sun, there is no any medium. Even then, light waves travels from sun to the earth. Therefore, for these light waves, no any medium is required for their propagation. Second is X-ray. Now, for the propagation of X-ray, again material medium is not required. In this way, all these waves are classified mainly into two types. Mechanical waves which require a medium for their propagation, and second is non-mechanical waves or electromagnetic waves which do not require a material medium for their propagation. Okay. Now, again, these mechanical waves are again classified into two types. Now, it is classified into two types. First is progressive waves and second is stationary waves. We discussed in detail mechanical waves. Now, all these mechanical waves are classified into two types, progressive waves and other is stationary waves. Now, what is the difference between these two? Right. Now, you know that suppose one wave is formed, and when this wave is formed, at that time when this energy is transferred to the neighboring particle, again this neighboring particle vibrates, again due to vibration of neighboring particle, again this wave is formed. In this way, when this wave is traveling continuously, in the same direction. Wave which travels continuously in the same direction in a given medium without change of its form is known as a progressive wave. Right? Now therefore how we define? Waves which travel continuously in the same direction in a given medium without change of form is called as a progressive wave. Okay. Now, what is the example? Now, sound wave is the example of progressive wave. Okay. Now, come to the second type of wave. It is a stationary wave. Always remember that this progressive wave travel continuously in a given medium. But when we study this stationary waves at that time, now in stationary wave we consider two fixed points. Now one material medium is there between two fixed points. Now when the string is taken and when the string is fixed in between two fixed points and when the string is plucked at the midpoint, at that time we observe that waves are traveling from one point to the other point. Again, this wave is reflected from that point to the first point. Now, due to this superposition or interference in between these two waves, now stationary waves are produced. Right? Therefore, always remember that these progressive waves travel continuously in the same direction in a given medium. But when we observe these stationary waves are produced only in between two fixed points. They cannot travel continuously, right? Therefore, these waves are also called as standing waves. These waves are also called as standing waves. Now, example. Now, resonance tube experiment is known to you. Now, therefore, waves produced in resonance tube or waves produced in resonating air column. These are the examples of resonance tube. Now, these are the example of stationary waves. When we consider sonometer experiment, at that time in sonometer experiment, again this wire is fixed in between two points, two supports. At that time when it wire is vibrates, it produces the stationary wave. These are the stationary waves. Now, first we concentrate on first type of wave, and this first type of wave is known as a progressive wave. Okay. Now, we again progressive waves. Okay. Now all of you are well familiar with progressive waves. Waves which travels continuously in the same direction in a given medium without any change of form is known as a progressive wave. Okay. Now again these progressive waves are again classified into two types. First type is known as transverse wave. Transverse wave. And the second type is longitudinal. Second type is longitudinal wave. Second type is longitudinal wave. Okay. Now we study which waves are known as a transverse wave. Right. Now to study this transverse wave, now first we consider one example. A long flexible string is taken. One end of the string is fixed with the help of a rigid support and other end is free. Now, when this free end is held in your hand and when your hand is moved in upward direction or a sudden jerk is given in upward direction, at that time the particles which are close to your hand start vibrating. It vibrates vertically in upward direction, and due to vibration of this particle in upward direction, at that time one convex part of wave is produced. It is known as a wave pulse. Now this convex part is known as a crest. Again, when your hand is moved in downward direction, at that time this particle again vibrates in downward direction and again it returns back to its main position. Means when your hand moves rapidly up and down, at that time When your hand move in upward direction, at that time the first wave pulse is produced. This wave pulse is in the form of a convex part, and this convex part of wave is known as a crest. When your hand move in downward direction, at that time another part is produced, and this part is a concave part. Now this concave part of wave is known as a trough. Is known as a trough. Therefore, rapidly when your hand move up and down, at that time alternately crest troughs are produced, and in this way this wave is traveling continuously from free end to the fixed end. Right? In this way, this transverse flow is produced along a straight string. Okay. Now, in this transverse flow, we observe that alternately crust and troughs are produced. Right. Therefore, what are transverse flow? Now, during this transverse flows, at that time, first this is the first particle. This particle vibrates from its mean position vertically in upward direction. Again, this particle start vibration vertically in downward direction. At that time, this is when we consider this is one particle. This particle vibrates in upward direction as well as it vibrates in downward direction. At that time, this is the direction of vibration of particle. At that time, we consider, suppose it is motion of particle. Motion of particle. Right? Now, this is the direction of vibration of particle. But when this wave is traveling continuously in forward direction, at that time, this is the direction of propagation of wave. Means wave travels in this direction. Now it is known as motion of wave. It is known as motion of wave. Now when we observe these two motions, this is the motion of particle and this is the motion of wave, means this is the direction of vibration of particle of that medium and this is the direction of propagation of wave. Now when these two directions are perpendicular to each other, at that time such type of waves are called as transverse wave. Okay. Therefore, there is one condition for this transverse wave. In transverse wave, the direction of vibration of particle of that medium is always perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Therefore, such waves are called as transverse wave. Okay. Now, in transverse wave, when transverse waves travels through the medium is divided into alternately crust, trough, and they follow each other. Okay. When the transverse waves we have to study, always we know that transverse waves can travel through only solids. They can travel through only solids, but they cannot travel through liquids and gases. Okay. Now these waves are known as a transverse wave. Now come to the other type. Now the other type of wave are called as longitudinal waves. What happens in longitudinal wave? Now we know that, for example, we consider sound wave. Now in this case, transverse wave, we consider example is water waves. Waves produced on the water surface is the example of transverse wave, or waves produced on a stretched string is also the example of transverse wave. Now come to the second, longitudinal waves. Now in longitudinal waves, now we consider, suppose this is one particle. This particle is initially at rest. When some energy is given to that particle, at that time vibrates in upward direction. Again return back to its main position. Again it vibrates in downward direction. At that time, this is the motion of particle. This is the motion of particle, or this is the direction of vibration of particles of that medium. Now, when this is the direction of vibration of particle, and when due to vibration of this particle, when wave is produced, and when this wave is traveling, now this wave is not traveling in this direction, but this wave is traveling parallel to the vibration of particle, direction of vibration of particle. Therefore, this is the motion of wave. Motion of wave. Therefore, when we observe that these two motions are not perpendicular to each other, as we see in transverse waves. These two motions are parallel to each other. Therefore, such waves are known as longitudinal waves. How we define these longitudinal waves? Therefore, we define these longitudinal waves, waves in which the particles vibration of particles of a medium is parallel to the direction of propagation of wave. At that time, such type of waves are called as longitudinal waves. These two directions are always parallel to each other. At that time, it is known as longitudinal waves. Right? Again, we consider here when longitudinal waves travel through the medium. At that time, medium is divided alternately into compressions and rarefactions. Compressions and rarefactions. Therefore, when longitudinal waves travels through the medium is divided into alternate compressions and rarefactions, and they follow each other. They follow each other. Right? Now, what is compression? Compression is the high pressure region. And what is rarefaction? Rarefaction is the low pressure region. Why it is known as a high pressure region? Because in this compression region, now the number of layers or number of particles are crowded together, gathered together. Therefore, its density is high. Therefore, we consider here the point, this region is known as a compression. What is rarefaction? In this rarefaction region, the number of particles are move away from each other or get separated from each other. Therefore, it is known as a rarefaction. Now, in case sound waves we consider here, suppose these particles are get separated from each other. Therefore, this region is known as a rarefaction. And when this distance between these number of layers or number of particles is decreased, at that time we consider here this part of wave is known as a compression. Therefore, this is the compression region and this is the rarefaction region, and they follow each other. Right? Now, again remember that. Now, longitudinal waves can travel through solids as well as liquids and gases. Means longitudinal waves can travel through solid, liquid as well as gases. But again remember that longitudinal waves as well as transverse waves cannot travel through vacuum. They cannot travel through vacuum. Means they require a material medium. It may be solid or it may be liquid or it may be a gas or air medium. Okay. Now, what are the example of sound longitudinal wave? The example is sound wave. Sound wave. Right? In this way, we study progressive waves are classified into two types: transverse wave and other is longitudinal wave. Now, in transverse wave, what happens? Now, the direction of vibration of particle of medium is always perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. In longitudinal wave, the direction of vibration of particle of a medium is always parallel to the direction of propagation of wave, and transverse waves can travel through solids only. They cannot travel through liquids and gases, but longitudinal waves can travel through solids, liquids as well as gases. Okay. Now, waves are known to you. Different types of waves are also known to you. Now, today we discuss when we consider different waves having their different properties. When we consider any wave, this wave has some properties. Therefore, we discuss different properties of wave. Properties of wave. Now, there are different properties of wave. Now, we consider one wave. Now, we consider y-axis and x-axis, and this is the origin. Right? Now, suppose we consider the particle which is at rest, means the particle is at its origin. Particle is at its origin. Now, suppose this is the mean position or equilibrium position of that particle. Right? Now, when some energy is given to that particle, due to action of this energy, this particle start vibrating from its mean position. It vibrates upward up to some maximum displacement, and again it vibrates towards it moves towards the mean position. When this particle start vibrating, the particle displaces from its mean position in this direction. Again it displaces in this direction. Again it displaces in this direction. Right? Again it displaces in this direction. In this direction. Right? Now, when it displaces from its mean position, at that time, again it returns back. Suppose this is the extreme position of that particle. Now it returns back to its mean position, and again it displaces in downward direction and return back to its mean position. Now this is the displacement of that particle. right? Now, when this particle displaces from its mean position vertically in upward direction up to the extreme point, at that time this is the maximum displacement of that particle from its mean position. Now this maximum displacement of particle from its mean position is known as amplitude of a wave, and this amplitude of a wave is denoted by symbol capital A. Therefore, now we consider the first property of wave is amplitude. Amplitude of wave. And this amplitude of wave is denoted by symbol capital A. Second, now suppose initially the particle is at rest, its mean position. When some energy is given to that particle, the particle starts vibrating. It vibrates vertically in upward direction up to some extreme position, return back to its mean position, again vibrates in downward direction up to its another extreme position, and again it returns back to its mean position. At that time, when this particle reach to this point, at that time we say that this particle completes its vibration. Particle completes its one vibration, right? Now, when this particle travel from this point to this point, at that time the time taken by that particle to complete its one vibration is there, and this time taken by that particle to complete one vibration is nothing but it is the period of a wave. Therefore, the second property of wave, and the second property is period of wave. And this period of wave is denoted by a symbol capital T. How we define this period of time, period of wave? The time taken by the particle of a medium to complete one vibration is known as period of a wave, right? Now, third property. Now, initially the particle is at this point and it reaches to this point. At that time it completes its vibration. Now this energy is given to the second particle, therefore the second particle start vibrating and it completes its vibration, right? Now this is the first particle, this is the second particle, and this is the third particle. Now we consider here particle point P, point Q, and point R. Point P, Q, and R. Now suppose one particular time is taken. Now suppose we consider 1 second time is taken. Now in that particular time period, when any particle which performs number of oscillations. Now these number of oscillations performed by the particle of a medium per second or per unit time, at that time it is known as frequency. It is known as frequency of wave. Frequency of wave. And this frequency of wave is denoted by N. Frequency of wave is denoted by N. Now, how we define this frequency? The number of vibrations performed by the particle of a wave per unit time or per second is known as frequency of wave, and it is denoted by N. Next, now when particle move from this point P to this point Q, at that time this particle covers some distance. It covers some distance, means the distance between point P and Q. Distance between point P and Q, right? Now this distance between P and Q, this distance is nothing but it is the wavelength of a wave. Because point P, point Q, and point R, these all 3 points are in phase. Therefore, the distance between two successive points, or distance between two successive particles which are in the same phase or which vibrates in the same motion, in the same state of motion. Therefore, distance between these two successive particles which are in the same phase is known as wavelength of a wave. Therefore, the next property is wavelength. Wavelength of wave. This wavelength of wave is denoted by symbol lambda. How we define this wavelength? Wavelength is always the distance between two successive particles which are in the same phase. In that case, P and Q are in the same phase. Q and R also in the same phase. At the same time, when we consider this point and this point, these 2 points are also in the same phase. Therefore, distance between these 2 points is also wavelength. When we consider this point and this point, these 2 points are also in same phase. Therefore, distance between these 2 points is also wavelength. Therefore, we consider here distance between two successive crests as well as distance between two successive troughs is always equal to wavelength of a wave and is denoted by symbol lambda. Number 5. Now, when any wave is produced and when this wave is traveling through that medium, at that time this wave travels through some velocity. It travels with some velocity. Therefore, you know that the next property, this property is velocity of wave. Velocity of wave is denoted by v. What is velocity? Now, in general, we know that velocity is equal to displacement upon time or distance upon time. Correct? Now, initially the particle is at rest at its origin. When this particle start vibrating, it reaches to this point. Again, second particle start vibrating, reaches to this point. Therefore, at that time, when particle vibrates from P to Q, at that time, the distance covered by the wave, is nothing but it is the wavelength of it. It is the wavelength of it. Therefore, this displacement or distance is nothing but it is the wavelength divided by the time taken by that particle to cover this distance P to Q is nothing but it is the period of the wave. It is the period of the wave. Now, therefore, velocity of wave is denoted by symbol V. Wavelength of a wave is denoted by lambda, and period of a wave is denoted by T. Therefore, it is written as lambda into 1 by T. Lambda into 1 by T. Therefore, this 1 by T is nothing but it is known as N. Therefore, it is replaced by N. V is equal to N into lambda. What is this relation? V is equal to N lambda. It is the relation between velocity, frequency and wavelength of a wave. Okay. In this way, all of you are well known with this relation. This relation is most important. V is always equal to N lambda. This product N lambda is constant. It means that when any one of these two increases, other decreases. Right? When N increases, lambda decreases, and when N decreases, lambda increases. Now,